And coming up on this episode of the MartyMariner Show, well, it's our first show for 2023. Happy New Year to all of our subscribers and all of our viewers. I hope you had an absolutely fantastic New Year, and I hope you had a great holiday season as well. I hope you got to see plenty of your family and friends and celebrated it how you wish to do so. The football season, however, does not slow down, and we are back, and we've got a bumper show to bring you today. We're going to kick it off with Sharon and Wayne. You may remember we spoke to them last year about their drive to get some football boots and shin pads out to the Cook Islands, where unfortunately some teams are having to share equipment to play this beautiful game. So, look, we'll have a chat to them. We're going to find out about where they're at with the collections, how much they've collected, where you can donate the stuff to. It'd be really good to catch up with Sharon and Wayne. Really enjoyed catching up with him last year. Looking forward to that. And then we're going to catch up with one of the Mariners' young guns. His name is not Clark Kent. However, he is a man of steel. He's been holding the middle of the fort of that midfield of the Mariners the last few weeks with Nizzy. Harry Steele is going to join me for a bit of a chat, a bit of a chinwag, bit of a conversation. We're going to talk about how it all started for him. Does he have any superstitions? We're going to ask him all about Jason Cummings, what you really needed to know, and rumours of where Garang Kuol could be going to. We'll find out if Harry can give us any goss. Been a few names floated around, particularly around Scotland, about where young Garang could go. Let's see if we can find out what is happening. It's going to be an absolute bumper episode. Hope you join me right until the very end. This will be an absolute cracker. Better not keep our guests waiting any longer. It's the MartyMariner Show. And as I just said in the intro, brand new year here on the MartyMariner Show. And what a way to kick off. A couple of superstars to kick off 2023. Sharon and Wayne are joining me. You would have heard from them last year. They're doing the collection for the Cook Islands, some boots and shin pads, all sorts of things going on. Guys, how you doing?
We're doing well, thanks, Marty.
Yeah, great. Thanks,
Happy
Marty.
New Year to you.
Absolutely. And to you guys as well. Look, the last time we spoke, which was last year, still getting used to saying things like that. You guys were just basically kicking off, just starting their collections and that. For those one or two people on the planet that might not have seen the show last year, can you give us a bit of a rundown on exactly what happened? It was a trip to the Cook Islands. What happened over there that sort of led you to the whole collection thing?
Yeah, sure, Marty. Just things. We went and visited the local games there. We just found that it was a little bit disturbing to find that each team was coming off and handing their boots and shin pads to the next team that were going on to the field. So we found there was one club there that was quite had quite a lot of equipment, well presented, but it seemed like everybody else was just picking up, from the association what was left out of the pot, basically, and this club was well looked after. So, it sort of was a little bit upsetting to us. So we went and spoke to a couple of the officials there and just said we would like to help and how can we go about it?
And here we are, all collecting and all sorts of things going on. Now, that was...
Absolutely.
Remind me, when did that kick off last year?
Beginning of the season,
Beginning of the season,
November.
Yeah. And so give us an update. I mean, I've been down there a few home games and I've seen people throwing some things in the bin and stuff like that. So how's it been going, guys?
Well, we've currently got 162 pairs of boots.
Wow, nice.
And umpteen pairs of shin pads, a couple of pairs of goalkeeping gloves.
Nice.
We've had a couple of people drop in new soccer balls.
Nice.
Training cones.
Training bibs that are new. Mm-hmm.
So we've had some great response. We even had our CEO Sean drop down one day with the new chairman Richard. Richard introduced himself and sort of wanted to find out what we were doing, and was wrapped in what we were doing.
That's awesome.
So the club, the Mariners, have thrown their full support behind what we're doing.
Absolutely.
He turned to Sean and said, well, what are we doing with the academy kids? And asked Sean to sort of get on top of that. So there's been a lot of people come along each week and say, "Oh, damn, forgot about it."
Yep.
We've had an article in the Loose Cannon for the last 3 weeks.
Yep.
And we've had some people contact us from that. So it's traveling along nicely. We're sort of we've had a response from a club in Dubbo.
Oh, wow.
They're doing a collection for us. We actually saw them last game. The son of the club president that we're involved in was in the halftime competition on the field.
Right.
And won that. So he was wrapped in that and got himself a signed shirt and a voucher for Rebel.
Yep.
And we happened to have a chat to him, and he said, "I'd really love to get a pair of Danny Vukovic socks, because he's a goalkeeper."
Yep.
Anyway, we actually, and this is sort of a side story, we caught up with Danny after the game and explained to him, and he said, "Look, I've got to go and check the Dobbo, but let me find out."
Yeah.
Anyway, he came back a little while later, took his socks off and signed them and handed them to us. So we were able to give it to the young fella the next day and couldn't take the smile off his face.
No, that's brilliant.
But it just shows you the extent of what the Mariners family is all about, it was nothing for Danny, he did have to get the okay, but, to see Jesse's face when he came around here and picked up the socks from us, and we actually then just met the family. So they're prepared to help us out. We've now got, as of today, 2 collection boxes down at my head office in Ballarat. Yep. So they're prepared to get behind us as well.
Yep.
We've had physios. We've had a couple of the local schools when they go back. We'll be sending out emails this weekend so that we coincide with registrations. So as we explained earlier, we will continue it through till around about April. This season over in the Cook Islands really doesn't to kick off till about August. So we've got plenty of time to put everything together. So, but it's just, I can't believe, people support. We've had people coming to us, not only parting with their top of the range boots, but we've also had people that have gone out there and actually bought things for us as well and donated those. So, it's really heartwarming to think that, everybody has been doing it tough over the last couple of years, but, when you ask for something like this, they deliver.
I said, we've said it how many times that the Central Coast Mariners family, the community, is just, it's just the best. We're not biased when we say it. We prove it time and time again. And I'm guessing too, Wayne, this is the time of year that people are trying on their boots, getting ready for trials again in the season. Those boots must be a little bit tight by now. Go and get yourself another pair and bring down the old ones on this Saturday, right?
Well, this is it. We've had a couple of clubs approach us at the stand and say, look, we want to help. And as Sharon just said, we're going to send an email out this weekend to all the Central Coast clubs with our blurb and just saying this is what we're doing. Feel free to contact us if we can help with pickup and stuff like that. So, we'll see what happens come the end of April and see what the big tally is.
Absolutely. Well, I think we've got, 6 home games left? I think from memory, someone said that the other day. So, times there, something like that to go.
Haven't even looked at that yet. So we've also had. Sorry, we've also had. We had an interview with Scott Levi on Central Coast ABC.
Beautiful.
He's been on holidays lately, so it'll be a follow up to him next week.
Yep.
But as a result of that, Sharon was actually contacted by Triple M.
Beautiful.
And did an interview with them. So, it's getting out there.
No, absolutely it is. And even, even just down at the ground, a few people have mentioned it and said, the boot people. I don't know if that's the common term for these kind of things, but the boot people, where are they going to be and stuff. So word is certainly spreading around. Yeah, so I've been called a lot worse than that. So anyway, I'd go with it. Just remind me again. So we've got a few collection places, right? So where can people, if they can't get to the game on Saturday or any other games, where else can we drop this gear off?
Absolutely. So we've got a drop-off point at Hames Paint Shop at West Gosford.
Yep.
We also have one in Newcastle at Hames Paint Shop at Warners Bay. We also have Anytime Fitness at the entrance. And also, if they would like, as I say, it's branching out to a few different companies now. But if anyone wants to contact us, we're more than willing, to go and pick up some of the boots as well. So which we have already been doing if they can't make it to a game. So,
Awesome.
So they can either contact us through Messenger or, my email address is pretty easy, just Sharon.Pascoe at hotmail.com. We can, we certainly can work around things for people as far as pickups if they're not able to come to the games.
No, absolutely. Well, guys, it's just been fantastic. As I said, I mean, I've seen you out there for the home games. I've seen plenty of people around you dropping, bags in there. I think it's just been fantastic. We're in the new year now, and as I said, people coming in, getting their new boots, their new shin pads, may have got a new pair for Christmas. Couldn't think of a better cause than to drop them into you guys at the stadium and get them over to the Cook Islands so those guys can have a decent season and not have to share their shin pads and boots next year.
Cool.
Absolutely, and especially in that humidity over there, it's not ideal.
Oh, look, after spending many a time in many a dressing room, I could think of nothing worse than saying to my teammate, can I borrow your boots or borrow your shin pads? So,
absolutely.
We wouldn't want to be doing that. So, but anyway, guys, look, thanks for joining me again. First guest on 2023. It's an absolute pleasure to have you back on again. We'll definitely catch up at the end of the season, if not before, just to see how things are rolling again. And we'll make sure we put your email address on there too, Sharon, so people can contact you if they need to.
Terrific, right. Marty. Thanks for your support too.
Thanks, Marty. Really appreciate it. And thanks, Mariners family.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. All right, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll catch you there on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Cheers.
Bye.
Yeah. And welcome back to the MartyMariner Show. And as I said in the introduction, we've got one of these young guns that are playing for the Central Coast Mariners at the moment joining us for a bit of a chat, bit of a chinwag, bit of a conversation. Harry Steele joins me, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, going good. So, been a good week this week, training and everything. Oh, been a good last month, actually. So, training, and it's good that I'm getting a bit of game time and stuff now, and the team's doing well. So, it's been real positive vibes around the camp, which is good.
Absolutely. And there's no coincidence, as I've said, mate. You're playing on the field, the team's playing well. I mean, Monty's obviously taking this into account, mate. That's why you're getting plenty of minutes, right?
Yeah, that's it. So I think he's been pretty happy with how I've been training and playing the last few weeks. So obviously he has a lot of faith in all us young boys. As you know, the last few seasons, it's been a lot of young kids come through the youth and are doing really well. And obviously you've seen Garang move on to bigger things. So he knows the capability that all us young boys have, and he obviously has the faith in us. And
absolutely.
But as we've shown, we're doing well and we're winning games. So we're coming third on the ladder. So you can't really complain, can you?
You take that every day of the week, mate. Absolutely, especially after some seasons we've had in the not too distant past. But look, mate, just a question first up: were you always going to be a professional footballer?
As a young kid growing up, that was always the goal. So to be honest with you, I actually didn't really have much else on my mind. So that was always my passion. I always loved playing, and every dream that I had, I'd always want to be a professional soccer player. So growing up, I grew up, my dad played rugby league. I've got a cousin who actually plays in the AFL for St Kilda. So I've got a very rugby or oval shaped ball family, but growing up, dad actually coached me down at Terrigal playing soccer. So that was my passion. And I actually did have 1 year of rugby league for Terrigal as well.
Right.
And then after that, I think I just was a little small. And I was, to be honest, I got best and fairest player. So I was all right. But everyone started a bit bigger and stuff. So, I just kind of stuck to the football, what we call football. But most people know it, well, around Australia, most people call it soccer, but obviously football. So then I went back and played 1 more year with Terrigal, and then got picked in the academy team. So from then on, I've just always had the passion and always had the drive, and that's always what I wanted to do. So
nice. Yeah. And have you always been that central midfielder kind of player? Has that always been the place you've sat?
Well, when I first started at the academy, I was actually playing left back.
Right.
So yeah, played left back for probably about 3 years, up until about under 14s, and then I started playing left wing,
Right.
and then kind of drifted into the midfield. So I feel like, to be honest, I was always good at cross country and all that stuff. So I was always a runner. So that's probably one of my main attributes on the field is a lot of the work rate that I put in, which I think is what my likes about me is I just kind of run around the middle and win a lot of balls and stuff. So that's kind of what got me into the midfield, really. So
well, Garang's gone now, mate. There's a spot. Maybe you can start pushing a bit more to the left and start seeing you get some stuff out there, and you might have the EPL knocking on your door too. Do you follow any EPL or teams overseas?
Yeah, I don't. I do. I watch a lot of games and all that, but I don't really have a team. So I mean, I kind of support Man City, which is probably like everyone says, oh, whatever, you jump on the bandwagon. But I went to the game that they played Real Madrid, and they had the little competition down in Melbourne with Roma, Man City, and Madrid. So I went to the game at the MCG. There was about 95,000 or something there against Real Madrid.
Awesome.
And ever since that, Man City got smashed 5-1, but ever since then, I just thought they would be my team. So that was probably about 10 years ago now, probably longer. So ever since then, they've been my team. But I just love watching every team, really. So I don't really just specifically watch Man City or anything. It's just love that league's just unbelievable to watch. And now, obviously, Garang being at Newcastle, I don't know if he'll probably won't play much this year, obviously this season, but I'll probably start supporting them a fair bit now as well. And as my dad said, he doesn't have a team because he's a big rugby league fan. He's from out west Ireland. So he's big rugby league, so he doesn't have a team, but he said, he'll jump on the Newcastle bandwagon. And
Absolutely.
Well, so it's pretty hard not to.
Well, I was going to say, have you sorted out with Garang to flip you a few shirts over already? Or have you got all that sorted?
I know, I need to. So, actually, Dad did end up buying. I can show you quickly. Dad, bought a Newcastle jersey online because obviously I've been really close. I was really close to the low, so Dad and Garang know each other really well as well. Yep. So before Garang left, Dad got how do you flip this? Don't know how you. Dad did get a Newcastle jersey and got Garang to sign it.
Oh, how good's that?
So Dad'll be hanging that one up in the garage now that he's doing it all up and stuff. So,
geez, these old blokes who get shirts and hang them up behind them. I don't know where all that comes from, mate. But that's pretty cool. And I guess too, because we've had a few of the boys go to Scotland, Birras is over there, Rolsey and Miller. Do you keep in touch with those boys as much as you can too?
Yeah, I do. I do keep in touch with Rolsey a little bit. So every now and then when he heard his stuff, I was keeping in loop with how he was going and all that. But I think they're doing pretty well. I haven't spoken to him since after the World Cup. Obviously, I wish Rolsey good luck and congratulations after and all that. But I haven't really spoken to him much since. But they both said Birras is doing pretty well now, I think, as well. He had a bit of a rough
clean sheets,
it seems like he's doing well now. They're getting stringing a few wins together, which is good. And obviously, Rolsey's a class player, so he'll do well at every team he goes to. So, but I actually just got a lift home with Jason just then, and he said that he heard in some news over in Edinburgh that Garang could be signing at Hearts as well, getting loaned there.
Nice.
Yeah, which I think will be a good transition for Garang. Obviously, there's there's 3 Socceroos boys that are already there, so I think you just fit in pretty well there, which will be good for him.
We could have a Marty Mariner show exclusive. How good would that be? So might see Garang out at Heart. So, but I mean, it's good. We've had a number of boys actually go over there. It's it seems to be quite a competitive league, and a few people I've spoken to have said it's a really good step for the boys to go from the A League over to Scotland. Yeah,
definitely. So I was speaking to Jason about it yesterday, just about what the league's like and. Garang would fit in. He said, it is a really it's a good league. It's a tough league. It's a lot more physical than what most people think it is. It's probably one of the most physical leagues in the world.
Yeah.
But he said it's like technically it's not like the Premier League. It's below the Premier League, and but he just said the physical part of it, every tackle, buddy, they smash you, like
yeah,
like the old, kind of like the old school. They don't have the VAR and all that stuff,
absolutely.
so it's the old school. So yeah.
Lucky them. I wish we didn't have the VAR, but that's a totally different subject, man. That's a totally different program. We'll once you've retired, we'll get you back on and talk about that one, man, down in the future. But playing in that midfield, you seem to have a little bit more of like an enforcer kind of role and a bit more physical. Is there anyone that you've kind of modelled your game on, or people who play in that position that you do tend to sort of look at and go, yeah, I kind of see what they're doing?
Yeah, definitely. I think a big like inspiration to me was obviously Monty, like being captain of the club for so many years, and he was kind of that enforcer role as well. So I've just kind of tried to play my game like he did, and obviously win every tackle and just run around and do your best, play good passes, keep the ball, just like people. And and in the bigger picture, obviously players like Steven Gerrard and all those big players in the Premier League like him, even Yaya Toure, stuff like that, where we're just beasts in the midfield and just won everything and simple things right, and we're effective to the game. So that's what I obviously am trying to base my game around, and obviously it'll take a few years to get to that step, but that's the level that I'd love to be at.
Absolutely, and I've noticed, and you can tell amongst the crowd too, because you're not afraid to mix it, and if the team sort of if the game seems to be in that 50-50 mode, and you need someone to sort of step into that midfield and dominate a bit, we see you sort of face to face with a few opponents, as if to say, you're not going to get past here. We absolutely love to see it. And just talking about Monty too, because obviously, lots of years at Sheffield United, playing all those games, the experience he brings to it. If I had $1 for it, every time someone said to me, if that young bloke was at the Mariners under Monty, he'd go here. He's brought all these young players through. What is it about Monty, the coach, that sort of inspires guys like you to keep pushing forward and improving?
Yeah, I think it's just over the past few years, just obviously him having faith in all the youth. So obviously he started with the youth team, and we had a pretty successful year that he first started. Obviously he coached the MYL, they did really well, and then he coached the NPL team, and we had a really successful year. We won we won under 20s, won the minor premier in the grand final. Our first grade team won the minor premier's grand final. So I think had a lot of faith in all the youth, and obviously a lot of other coaches and players, clubs, fans, and all that have seen what Monty's produced, and obviously the stats have shown that the Mariners have the best youth program kind of going along, from going to the youth team to professional, and then elsewhere, like over to Europe and stuff like that. So I think Monty will have a very big future as a coach, because I think clubs are starting to catch on that he's very good at bringing the youth up and he's really good at giving confidence as well in the youth players. So that's probably a big part. It's like a lot of, I know you probably heard it a bit, a lot of us youth boys feel like we're welcomed into the first team so easily. Monty and Sergio, and obviously senior boys are really good as well. But I think all the youth boys say that the transition is a lot easier than what they thought it would be, because of the confidence that they're getting from Monty and Sergio. So I think that's a big part. Yeah,
I love it. Yeah, and what was it like? I mean, from someone who was playing football at Terrigal, and then go through the academy, and then all of a sudden, bang, you're in the first team at the Mariners and playing. After the game, you got kids saying, "Can you sign my shirt? Can you sign my hat? Can you sign this?" I mean, what did that take a bit of getting used to for yourself?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, for sure. That was something that I used to dream about, like walking around the pitch after a game and signing kids' jerseys. And it's stuff that kids do it when they get home from school and training. They practice their signature and stuff like that. Like it's just stuff you dream of. So to be able to do it and to be able to inspire young kids on the coast, being a coach to myself,
absolutely
massive. That's like, it's a reason. It's obviously it's not the reason why you play, but it's a big reason why you do it, like to inspire the youth coming through. So I think that's one of the big things that most us boys that have played through the academy love about it.
Absolutely, and it's great too, because especially at the Mariners, being such a community-based, such a family-based club. I mean, the fans, there's just so many youngsters that are there. And again, I mean, even towards the end of the game when you guys are focusing on playing, but as a fan, you can see those kids making their way down to the fences, and you can just see them starting to line up, and they're talking to each other about them getting a shirt signed. I'm getting just the excitement that does. That one day those kids will be on the other side of the fence, and it could be inspired by what you guys have said. It just means so much, and I think it's something that the club does really, really well. Even on this weekend, I believe after Adelaide, there's fans on the field going again, which was great last time. So I think you'll be swamped after this weekend's game, mate. I think you'll be signing a few more.
Yeah, and I think obviously Rich coming into the club and taking control of all this kind of stuff and pushing it more, pushing the fans to be involved a lot more has been massive for the club. Obviously, seen on the weekend, I think there was about 10,500 fans there, which they're always show out for New Year's Eve. Yeah, but I think just the way we're performing, the way we're playing, and the respect that we're getting from all the fans and people coming out and watching, it's just been next to none. It's just been unreal. So, and obviously it's the office staff and all that, Rich and Sean and all that have a big role to play, and they've done really well this season, I think. And obviously last year was good as well, but this year I think they've just taken to the next level and helps. Honestly, it's like a 12th player. Like it's like a 12th player on the field with all the fans and the inspiration that you get. So, it's been really good, and it just shows that every time there's a big crowd there and all that, it just shows how much better we play and how much more determined we are to win. So,
absolutely, and I'm hoping that I think we had over 10,000 there on New Year's Eve. So hopefully everyone comes back, brings a friend.
Oh, that's it.
Bring a friend this weekend to see you guys go again.
Yeah.
I was going to add too, we were talking about before, the number 13 shirt. Did you choose the 13? You're not a superstitious kind of guy?
Nah, I don't know. It just was a shirt that was there. And at the start I wanted 12 at the start, but Marco Urania was still at the club.
Absolutely.
And how it's kind of worked is, so I had 34, which I actually really like. So I probably would end up going, depends what happens next year. If I play a few games this year, end up playing a fair few games, I might try to get 8 or something like that, but see what happens.
Yep.
But it's kind of what I thought of it, like stupid by me, but how the change room's set out, if you're 34 or in the 30s, you're pretty much sitting on a plastic chair in the change room. Right in you're bloody sitting in the fridge pretty much. So you're right at the end. So I thought, I'm going to try to get my way down the end as close as I can to the starting team numbers.
Good thinking.
And I just was like, 13's there. Garang took 14. Marco Urania had 12. Benny has 11, whatever. Stormy has 15, so on. And I was like, I'll just take 13. And then, a few weeks into having 13, I was bloody hurt my knee and, was just doing a few things. I was like, what is this? I don't know if it's the number or something. I searched it up and I was like, 13, unlucky number. I'm like, just goes to show. I didn't even know it was an unlucky number. So, but I mean, I'm doing well now, and
absolutely
can't complain. So,
absolutely,
but I don't know. I just was on because we have a sheet at the start of the season.
Okay.
If you want to change your number, put it down. I'll just go 13, have a change up, whatever.
Yeah.
So I definitely won't be 13 next year. You're the first person to know. I definitely won't be 13 next year. So
absolutely, and I can't wait to see which number, mate. You'll be knocking on the door of the office saying, "Where's the sheet? I'm here for pre-season."
That's it. So if I keep I get the 8 or something like that. So
absolutely, no. I'm sure you'll get it all sorted, man. Just on superstitions. Game day. Is there anything in particular that you're kind of, I've got to make sure I do this or not do this on a game day? Are you kind of one of those kind of players?
I'm not too bad, to be honest. Yeah. So I'm not as bad as what some of the boys obviously are, but I don't really have anything. I just obviously try to get a good sleep in, but aimed at for some reason, whenever game day, I can never get a good night's sleep the night before because I think I'm just thinking about the game, whatever, overthinking stuff.
Absolutely.
And then normally I just either try not to go in the ocean as much as I can, but living in Terrigal on a nice day, it's hard not to go down for a nice swim, a bit of brekkie and stuff. So the last few weeks I've actually been going down with Dad and getting brekkie and going for a swim, so I might have to keep doing that.
Working, mate. It's working.
Yeah, that's it. And then normally I just come home, have a nap before. I try to have at least 45-minute nap and then just get ready. So I don't really have superstitions or anything. So yeah, I'm pretty good with all that stuff.
Are you one of those guys that gets really nervous before kickoff?
Nah. I'm normally the one trying to bloody rev everyone up. So.
I can imagine that. I don't have much doubt with that.
I know. So, but I'm all right. I'm normally pretty good with all that. Like walking out, got a few little nerves and stuff, but I normally just try to think of my job and don't think else. So,
no, that's awesome, mate. The World Cup. I know you're a bit of an avid watcher, and you're probably, did you get up and see most of the games? Did you just watch the boys play, or were you one of those set the alarm, I'm going to watch 3 games tonight? How did you go with it?
Oh, well, as you know, the games were just bloody so hard to watch, and obviously we had training all through the World Cup break, so a bit unfortunate for all us boys. So it was kind of hard getting up at 2 a.m. or whatever in the morning, and then watching, and then having to go to training and do bloody game, like in-house game or something like that, and be tired. So I obviously watched all the Socceroos games. So, but only the big games. Like I obviously got up for both semi-finals. I got up for the final. All those games, obviously. So, but I was a bit annoyed because obviously it's so every 4 years you feel like it's bloody eternity away. You want to watch it. I was a bit annoyed that I couldn't watch more of it. But you can't really do much when the games are at 2 a.m. and stuff. So
absolutely. And who knows, mate? You might actually be at the next one. 4 years till it comes around. So you never know. You're lucky in a big city, eh?
Yeah, hopefully. So that's it. Hopefully, the big goal that I'm pushing for now is obviously the Olympics. So 2 years. So I'll be perfect age for the under-23. So I'm already there already is a Ollie Roos like extended squad out, WhatsApp group out. So I'm in that, which is good. So hopefully it gets cut down and I keep doing well and keep playing well, and
absolutely
see why there would be a reason not to get me in that final squad or whatever. So
no, absolutely. Well, I know I've talking to Simo a while back, and he talks about the Olympics and different things playing in that, mate. It's just they're just milestones within your own career, aren't they? There's club level, but there's also these bigger tournaments that you just aspire to play in.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's it. Like obviously Rolsey 2 years ago, one of the boys that went over and played, and he said it was a dream come true. So I don't know like what he would have been thinking when he got picked for the World Cups. World Cup, but like the Olympics was just unreal. The players that you get to see. I mean, they were in that COVID time, so it was a bit hard. I couldn't go out to the Olympic do all that stuff, but it'd just be surreal. Like, because you watch, that's another thing that everyone in the world watches, and it's something that I've watched my whole life and always look forward to and stuff. So to be able to compete in it would just be a dream come true, and obviously a milestone that I'd like to tick off the list.
No, absolutely, mate. And we'll make sure that if when that day comes, you're either Olympics or World Cup, you'll have to do a live cross, mate. We'll book you in now. We've got to get an interview there too, man. That'll be sensational.
100%. No, I've definitely.
That'll be really cool. You spoke about Jason Cummings before, and I know you guys get on really, really well. I've seen you throwing water over him after interviews and all sorts of stuff going on. Was it surreal watching him in the World Cup? Someone who you share a car with, and you're down at Terrigal with, and you're laughing, joking, and then he's playing against France in the World Cup. Was there some sort of, how does this work out?
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Like, we were actually in Vanuatu on that when they played France. So we were all in the room together, and when him and Garang both got on, we were just because as I said before, I was really close with Alo when he was here, so I've known Garang since he first got here, and stayed at my house a lot and all that. And seeing both play, I was just like, geez, it's so weird that I share a change room with these blokes every day, and carpool with Jason training every day, and like they're pretty much both like my best mates, really.
Absolutely.
It was crazy, honestly, and I don't think it really all hit me until they actually got back. Like that was the thing. Like when I seen it, and I was like, geez, like you were just shaking hands with Messi about 4 days ago, and now you're shaking me. So I think that's when it kind of all hit me. So and obviously it was so good to see both of them play, and both the team do so well, and then be involved in it. That was just amazing for the club, and obviously Buka as well. Like but it was just not only for myself but for the club. It was just a surreal bloody time. So it was unreal. Yeah.
I know. Obviously as a fan watching them, you're proud because they come from your club. But I
Yeah.
couldn't imagine being a teammate and just the basic things you do with Jason, jumping in a car, driving into Terrigal, and then that would be so surreal to.
Oh, definitely, and even just as you said, going into Terrigal now and coming up to him, and just everyone knows him. It's just like it's pretty much like they're celebrities now. Like they really are celebrities now. So it is crazy. You just think like, holy shit, like.
Mate, you're one as well, mate. You're just the up and coming one. Wait till they get you sorted as well, mate. So and just with Jason too. I mean, I know you spoke earlier about having youth in the side and experience that kind of mixes in. But someone like Jason, when you're having your casual chats and stuff, what sort of stuff does he talk about that really, apart from the football side of it, but what is it that he sort of talks about that makes you think, I can do this myself. I can go overseas. I can do whatever I want to do.
I think just from where he started. So he was obviously a young kid coming through an academy and got the opportunity when he was young like I did, and he took the most of it. So I think that's just kind of obviously it just goes to show. And now obviously playing with him, he's still young. Like he's only 27, so and I'm alongside him. So it just goes to show that hopefully I'll be able to get to his level one day and keep training hard. And he just said like he's the most laid back. You'd know he's the most laid back, just casual. Just goes with the flow, does whatever, says whatever, doesn't care.
Absolutely.
That's what makes him so well known and so loved, and has the football attributes to go with it. So he's a class player, and I think that's kind of what most people aspire to be. The liked guy, like easy to get along with, but also puts it on the pitch. Like
absolutely. And Mariners fans, as I said from day one, you've obviously known all the way through. I mean the Hutchinsons, the Matt Simons, Monty, the Andre Gumprek, the guys who just had these characters about them that just the Central Coast just fell in love with them, and it's just and that's what I said to you before, like that bit of fight, that bit of mongrel, you can just see. As I said, you go toe to toe with someone out there on the field, and I've never seen 7 and 8 year olds who jump up out of their seat like they're fired up. It's like UFC kind of stuff going on. They love it, but just it's. It definitely comes with the turf like being the character. And you mentioned before about Vanuatu where you're watching the World Cup. Now, just before that, I saw you and talking to you, and your ankle was about the size of mine, which for those listening is not a good thing. Mate, you had an injury before you went. Obviously, it's feeling pretty good now. So tell us what you did with the ankle, and then tell us a bit about the trip to Vanuatu. It seemed really cool.
Yeah, I'll talk about the trip first. It was unreal, mate. It was so good. Like obviously Monty and that knew we were meant to be on a break, but they took us over there and we played a few games over there against Vanuatu national team, some MPL team over there, and the under-23s team. So I can't explain to you how rough the fields were, and obviously the refs were like that biased. It was more biased than what they are around here. But it was. You couldn't play football. That's what it was. It was a bit of just kick and chase, and we were throwing bloody throw-ins from as far out from bloody the goal line as we could. Every throw-in we got, we just have to launch it in the box because you just couldn't play. But I think Monty and that just wanted us to go over there, and obviously Brian being from there, we got to go to his village and all that. And we didn't actually train or anything, which was really good. So we kind of just by the pool and did all things. We went out to like this Blue Lagoon thing where there's road swings and all that. So kind of just a real chill holiday with a few games involved. So
I saw Sammy Silvera flexing by the pool quite a fair bit. So
he was bloody getting his bloody abs out every time he
fair
I didn't put a shirt on the whole trip, but
you and me both, brother.
So it was really enjoyable, and the boys really liked it. But the ankle. So it was a fairly long process, to be honest. A lot longer than what I thought it was going to be. But as you know, like it's just or I don't know if you've ever rolled an ankle, but when you roll them, bloody, they just don't. They get good after a certain amount of time, but they swell up every time you step foot on it. So mine was like, obviously I missed a few games because of it. Went over to Vanuatu and I got pretty good game time over there, as much running around on bloody the dirt track as I could. But obviously coming back from that, it was good that I got a bit of a run around and got a few minutes in the legs and stuff. And then coming back from that, obviously we had another 2 weeks before the Newcastle game, the first Newcastle game. So it gave me a bit of time to kind of get it where I want it to be and where it's at now. And I kind of rested and trained as much as I could and did whatever. And now it's just kind of back to normal, which is good. I still obviously tape it up and it's going really well, which is good. So touch forward, that's the last of the injuries because I had the knee at the start of the year, which is a bit of a ball ache as well. So
Jeez, man, it's just you sounded like me in pre-season. That's why I had to retire, man. That's why I had to stop. But and mate, and goal celebrate. Now look, from memory, you got a couple of goals in the academy. I think you got a couple of goals there. You haven't got a first team one yet. Have you got your celebration set? Because when this ball goes over the net, man, you've got to do something, surely.
Oh no, I haven't actually got anything really. Like, I don't know. I did have pretty much a cousin, family friend pass away at about middle of last year, so that I was very close to. So I don't know what. I'll try to think of something. I need to think of something that I can do so when I score, I can
absolutely
dedicate it to her. But I don't know. So it's just I'm just waiting for the time to come, and something will come to my head, and it'll be good. So I should have had one on the weekend. If I bloody Economides standing right in front of me, it would have gone bloody straight in. So
it's getting close, mate. It's getting. You're waiting for me to get back in the country, mate. I appreciate it.
This weekend, it's coming.
All right, well there you go. Oh, how many exclusives can we have in one show? So get on your sports bet account now.
Next week.
Responsible gambling. Right. Mate, it's been an absolute pleasure catching up with you. Thanks for taking time out. I know you're hard at it at training this morning. Only a couple of days out from the game. Mate, best of luck against Adelaide on the weekend. Hopefully we get a cracker of a crowd there to get behind the boys. Be a massive 3 points to get for us if we can. And hopefully we see that goal celebration get pulled out, mate.
Yeah, that's it. That's coming. So hopefully this weekend in front of a good crowd, that'll be good. So
get on it. Get on it early, they say. Get on it early. So thanks for your time, mate. We'll catch up with you again soon.
Yeah, legend, mate. Thank you.
See you soon. And that is our show for today. A massive thank you once again to Sharon and Wayne for calling in and giving us the latest update on their drive to get some football boots and shin pads out to the Cook Islands. What a great cause that is. It's time to get our new boots and our new shin pads for the season. Don't throw those old ones away. They'll be there in Dane Drive before the game. Make sure you go and say g'day. And I'm sure they will make sure that your old pre-loved boots will become very much loved when it comes to the people in the Cook Islands. And also a massive thank you to Harry Steele coming straight from training, having a bit of a chat with us. Great to hear what he said about the Olympic squad. Wishing him all the best with that. How good would that be? Also, a bit of news with Garang. Is he off to Hearts? Who knows? Love a bit of... we've got Mariners all over the place when it comes to Scotland at the moment, but how good would that be as well? Who knows? Rumours are rumours. Who knows what we hear and who knows what will happen? But great to hear hear from Harry, and wish him all the best on this weekend against Adelaide. 5 o'clock kickoff at Industry Group Stadium or Central Coast Stadium, whatever you want to call it. Make sure you're there. Kickoff 5 o'clock. It'll be an absolute cracker. It was over 10,000 there for New Year's Eve. Let's make it even more than that. There's no reason why we shouldn't be supporting these boys. They're going absolutely... they're flying at the moment, third in the competition. Let's give them all of our support. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. Lets me know it's the kind of content that you need. And don't want to miss out. I've got some absolutely cracking interviews happening over the next fortnight or so. So hit that subscribe button. It helps me determine what content you like, but it also makes sure that we can help spread the word and let other people know that there is a Central Coast Mariners page here on YouTube that they can watch some interviews, mainly with older players and people around the club, but just on the occasion we get the young blokes in to have a bit of a chat to as well. And don't forget too, the Coast Football Ramble podcast. Pete, boys, Jimmy, Josh, Luke, the whole range of people. Morrow, can't forget the legend of the podcast himself. The boys do a great job with their podcast as well. Make sure you keep an ear out for those guys. Always. They've been around for quite some time now. I think about 5 years or so, 6 years maybe. So make sure you keep an ear out for them. They've got all the up-to-date information of what's going on in not only the A-League, but very much what's happening with the Central Coast Mariners as well. Thank you for sticking around until the end. First episode in the bag. Quite a bumper one to kick it off, but we've got plenty more coming. Thanks for your company. It's been the Marty Mariner Show.